What is the capital campaign? Why is it important to you? Why is it affecting your kids? Coming up in a minute. Hi, I'm Core Bishop Don Sawyer, pastor for Our Lady's Maronite Parish in Austin, Texas. And I'm here today because I want to talk to you about a capital campaign. You'll ask, why should our AppArcade have a capital campaign? What's the need, or why should I give to it? Why should I support it? Well, first of all, I want to tell you, I have jotted down some notes. Bishop Elias has made point that we have 3 items, and I want to call it 3M: missions, ministries, and ministers. Realize our AppArcade, we cover 34 states. I mean, that's large. From, from Ohio to Alabama and everything west. Alaska, Hawaii, we don't think about that. Yet only 18 states have at least one Maronite parish in it. Think about it. And the statistics, the estimations, it's hard to estimate, but we estimate that 95% of Maronites in our AppArcade do not have access to a Maronite parish. 95%, and they're all over the communities, Maronites, and the bishop has received requests for people that we need, like to have a parish. We need a priest, Bishop, send us one when you have one, help us. Now, realizing that ministers, it takes clergy, okay? We have to have vocations to be a diaconate, to be a deacon, vocations to be a priest. And the dues currently, the Order of St. Charbel, they help tremendously to help educate our men. There's tuition, there's room and board, that only a portion of what they give helps the expense. So here we have costs like $45,000 per man. We have 5 men in Washington, D.C., 1 in Chicago. We have 10 married men studying online with Holy Apostle Seminary. So our cost this past year was $450,000. If you have kids in college, they're expensive. But multiply it. 5 men, tuition, board, 10 men studying it. It gets costly. And yet, this is each seminarian's education costs about $50,000 a year. Now, ministries, we need to keep our Maronite heritage for our kids. I don't have to talk too much about that. You see what's going on, the impetus of the society, of our nation and all. And if we don't teach them the faith and teach them and bring them to Christ, they'll be lost. They'll be lost like all these people out in the world and that are going to drugs, alcohol, or they have many marriages or don't have marriages and cohabitate. We have ministries that need supporting. Maronite youth organizations, Maronite young adults organizations, just nationwide, they hold retreats, just like the MYO. All of this, we need to support our families and so many ministries, but of course it takes funds. Now you may ask, how is the AppArcade keeping a total transparency for the money that people give it? And nowadays, suspicions for charitable organizations and church included. And I like to say I'm very proud of our Bishop Elias. If I didn't believe in him and didn't see the transparency he gives us, then I wouldn't be sitting here with my reputation online and promoting the capital campaign. But complete transparency, our AppArcade has set up the Maronite Catholic Foundation. It is separate. It's a 501c3 charitable organization. Of course, all the records are available for publicly perusal. It's a separate entity from the AppArcade, and so it's not anything mixing with operating expenses of the AppArcade. And that money is not, the principal is not touched. Only the interest will be used, And you'll say, well, it has to take a lot of money, so we'll have interest to spend. It's true, we do. And principal, not touched. Interest earned will only be used. I love the story that Bishop Elias told, and he speaks about his transparency. One man had given him, he tells him, if you buy this house, he says, here's a check for $100,000. And the bishop thanked him, and when they checked the house and realized that it was going to be costing much more repairs, he called the man up and he told him, he says, I'm sending your check back to you. And the man wanted to know why. He says, we can't use it to buy that house. We have to look at another house. It looks better, And the man says, no, Bishop, you keep that. He said, well, it tells me that I have to start sending you every year $100,000 and I'll pay for that house, This is what kind of bishop that we have, and I'm delighted with that. But also, I think about when we started our parish here in Austin, this beautiful edifice, and everything in here has been given. And this is what people's gifts to God, whether it's the pews, the podium, beautiful altar. I remember one lady, she says, I'll buy the bell, but only if you put RMB on it. I said, RMB? She says, yeah, and she was a feisty, older lady. She said, put my name and put RMB, ring my bell. I said, you got it. And so her memorial has her name and the RMB. My Aunt Mary, she passed, and her husband. They were never big givers, but when we were building the church, they said, we want to buy those doors, and they're mahogany doors going into the church. It's fantastic, but that was a big expense. And I said, wow. But what happened when they gave the money, you think that they were set free. They felt so good about giving it, and they always look at, these are my doors, And think about it. Everything in here has been given, the stained glass windows, the organ, the podiums, even the rugs, so forth. And these people's sacrifices. And think of the bounty that is bringing in, how many people and lives that this parish is touching, So this is what I bring to you, and talk about, what is your legacy going to be? Are you going to give it to some organization? They'll say thank you and that's it. And here you're affecting people's lives, generations, I might say, And you say, now, what can I do? Well, make a pledge, and you can pay it out for 3 years, or one lump sum. If you have a real estate gift, like one lady gave a house, another man in another state gave the Aparchy homes that could be kept for rental or even sold, and the money goes into that fund. If you have an IRA, if you have a charitable rollover, or if you only have $5 or $10, you could give it as you go through, whether give online giving or designate it and send it to the bishop. Every bit helps, and I encourage everybody can do something. You don't have to be a millionaire, you don't have to have a lot of wealth, but the more you have, use it to affect people's lives, help others and affect their lives. And giving, and I want to say example, you used to think about Starbucks. If you go get coffee, Starbucks or wherever, or McDonald's, or Dunkin' Donuts. Think about it, you spend what, $6, and around, for 52 weeks, that's over $250, in a year. And over 3 years, you will have given $750. It adds up in small sacrifices. We're giving up a hamburger, things that we don't need, we spend money on. Going to the dollar store, I like going to the dollar store, I confess. Or at $5 store, I buy less there though. But everyone could give, and so I encourage you. Won't you help the Lord and help our own people and generations to come? Consider making a pledge or a gift today, and we're here and we appreciate your help and your listening. God bless you.